Hello, students, and thank you for joining us at this virtual college fair. A couple of housekeeping announcements before we get started. So you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type questions to the presenters at any time, and that will go individually to them. Your camera and microphone are off, so no one can see or hear you. Please sign up for more sessions. This is just one of the many ones happening. And the presentation is being recorded, so it will be available to you in about a week on the same site that you registered at, which is StriveScan. And now I will turn it over to our presenters. And I believe the first one up is University of Delaware.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Chuck Lydiard, and I represent the University of Delaware. I'm the Assistant Director of West Coast Admissions and based in Southern California. Thanks for joining us. Anytime I have conversations with students on the West Coast especially, I like to focus on the geography of the University of Delaware. We are strategically located between four major East Coast cities. Closest to the University of Delaware is Philadelphia. It's about a 45-minute drive or a 1-hour SEPTA commuter train ride to Newark, Delaware, and that's where we're located. Newark, Delaware hosts the University of Delaware, which has about 24,000 total students, with about 17,500 of them being undergraduate students. We're a Tier 1, Division 1 institution, and we serve 3 counties in the state of Delaware, but 70% of our total population are coming from outside the state of Delaware. It's a real college town. We have a lot of great social and academic options in Baltimore, Washington, D.C., New York City, and Philadelphia, but a lot of our students are enjoying the fact that it is this quintessential East Coast classic. And this is a great overview of our campus. A large part of our campus is centered right in the middle, which is that green area of space that you see, which is also known as the Green. The center point building you may see in the middle is called Memorial Hall there. And in a sense, it's what a lot of students think about when they are considering an East Coast Mid-Atlantic college or university. We have a lot of that Georgian architecture, a lot of red brick, white columns. It's a real residential campus, a real college town. All of our first year students do live on campus, and about 50% of our total students live on campus for 2 full years. There are so many different housing options even within a quarter-mile radius of campus. One thing I think that distinguishes our city in Newark, Delaware, and provides a lot of options for our students is our Main Street. The Main Street from the center of campus is 2 blocks to the north, and it intersects our large quad, the Green, and it has 80 different unique boutiques, restaurants, and shops that is considered off campus to our students. That is accessible by foot, by bike, by skateboard. I don't feel you need a car at the University of Delaware, especially for the first couple of years. But being that there's so many options to spread out, whether it be to Grotto's Pizza, whether it be to Klondike Cakes, or a lot of our Irish pubs, or just some unique coffee shops, I feel our students have great options off campus. Where we do have great on-campus options for our students, we have one of the largest dining halls on the East Coast in Caesar Rodney Dining Hall. We're building a new 24-hour diner in Perkins Hall now as we speak. Wherever you do go to school, you are going to want to have a few options to go off campus, and knowing that it's right there at your footsteps is really unique. So definitely check out when you're researching your colleges what is available off campus, because you will be going there a couple times. About 10 miles to the north is Wilmington, Delaware. It's kind of the financial hub for the state of Delaware, and you get a little bit more of an urban feel there. And we do have a free city public bus that our students can take to go up there. And that's where you'll find your Christiana Mall, your Microsoft or Apple stores, your Bed Bath & Beyonds. We have some minor league sports teams that are there, but it's nice to know that it's really quick access to some other opportunities. But a lot of our students are staying in our college town. Like major flagship universities, we have a lot of different majors and minors to choose from. You can be directly admitted into any of our majors. We have 8 total colleges, but 20% of our students actually come in undecided or go through our university studies track. So our students that go this way, they could decide after 1 semester or after the end of their sophomore year, and then matriculate into one of our 8 colleges. A lot of our West Coast families and students know us a lot for engineering and the health sciences, but we are a liberal arts university at our core. Everyone for the first 2 years will be taking a liberal arts general education requirements, but specifically for health science and engineering, what a lot of people are looking at us for is mechanical, chemical engineering, biomedical engineering. One of the things that I'll share in the chat box afterwards is the fact that we're the lead research school for a group called NIMBLE, which is essentially inventing new medicines to fight diseases. So we just recently got a $9 million grant for a COVID antibody and a vaccine. But our undergraduates are heavily involved in inventing and creating new medicines. And then once the FDA process is approved, we actually are going to be producing these medicines on our campus. And that's one thing that Delaware is known for quite exponentially is pharmaceutical production. But also, we're the #1 physical therapy school in the nation too. So exercise science, kinesiology, our health sciences with nursing and medical diagnostics are huge. But on the other side of things, awesome place for education, business, psychology. We're one of 4 schools in the nation that has art conservation as an undergraduate and a graduate program as well. We do have a great honors college that takes 600 first-year students in the midst of all those 8 colleges each academic year. So if you're looking for more of a rich academic experience where your class sizes won't be over 25, and where you'll have extra career and academic advising, certainly consider our honors college as well. We were the first school in the United States to do the formal travel abroad program in 1923, and the World Scholars Program is a living learning community that really focuses on global citizenship and allows students to actually begin their very first semester traveling abroad. The only thing I'll say on success is we have a 73% 4-year graduation rate, and for a flagship institution that has remained steady since I've been at the University of Delaware, and it's something we're really proud of. I'll answer any questions in the chat regarding our application process. We are test optional for this year. It is required to have 3 additional supplements if you're doing test optional process. Diamond Challenge, I'll provide a link to, but this is essentially Shark Tank for high school students. It's a global venture concept competition that any high school student in the world can do, and you don't even have to consider the University of Delaware for this. And at that point here, I'd like to end my presentation. I'll be happy to field your questions in the Q&A, and it's my pleasure to present the University of Delaware to you today.
Thank you, Chuck, and we will now turn it over to Brown University.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you being here. Share my screen here. So Brown University is the 7th oldest college in the United States. So one of 9 colleges that were founded pre-Revolutionary War, so 1764. Brown was the first institution in the country to admit students regardless of their religious affiliation, which seems like pretty standard practice and common sense now, but was a pretty progressive idea at the time, and we're pretty proud of that historical trend of accepting all different belief systems and all different perspectives. So a little bit more about Brown and where we're located. We're located in Providence, Rhode Island. So welcome to Rhode Island. The rest of the presentations here today will actually be taking place in the small state in the Union. Brown's campus is located in the capital city, known as the creative capital of Providence, which is home to about 170,000 people and imports about 70,000 college students each year. So it is also located on the ancestral lands of the Narragansett and Wampanoag peoples. The campus at Brown is home to about 7,000 undergraduate students and about 2,500 graduate students. We have students from 69 different nations and all 50 states, and about 45% of students self-identify as students of color. We're a very residential campus, so housing is guaranteed for all 4 years, and usually about the first 3 years you tend to stay on campus. A lot of seniors choose to move off in apartments or houses nearby. So moving on to really the hallmark of the Brown experience, which is the open curriculum. So this is going to determine your educational experience inside the classroom and outside the classroom. The open curriculum was something that was founded in 1969. It was created by students for students. It means that we do not have a core curriculum at Brown. It means that any student can take classes in any academic discipline at any time, and students have an incredible amount of freedom, flexibility, and responsibility for their academic education. So the open curriculum means that the university doesn't dictate a certain set of core courses that you have to accomplish in order to graduate from Brown, but it does give you some parameters to pursue a chosen area of study. We have 80 different concentrations available at Brown. That's our term for major at Brown. They're pretty much interchangeable across a wide range of disciplines. So everything from visual art to economics to engineering to Judaic studies. So a wide range of different disciplines from which you can choose, and students will declare a concentration by the second semester of their sophomore year. We have a very intimate setting for the academic experience with a 6-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and about 70% of classes will be actually fewer than 20 students. So a real opportunity to forge those relationships with faculty. As I mentioned earlier, students have a lot of responsibility that they are determining their pathway, since there aren't any barriers between different academic departments. So in some ways, it's an incredible freedom to make your own selections of what courses you take and when, but it's also a significant responsibility in that students are going to be challenged to think broadly and deeply about how they want to become educated and why they wish to become educated. So it's something that really is going to impact you and challenge you to think about why you're here at Brown. Learn from others in the classroom that are studying other disciplines than you are, and really challenge the idea of what you prioritize, what you value, and what you hope to accomplish. So something that's really integral to the undergraduate experience at Brown is access to research opportunities and internships. We have over 1,000 undergraduate students that are participating in research in any given year, and our undergraduate students outnumber our graduate students by 2-to-1. So that's something to be really mindful of, no matter what you're choosing to research or consider in terms of your pathway, your academic pathway, whether it's in the STEM disciplines or the humanities or social sciences. There's going to be something for everyone. In terms of internships, our Career Lab, Career Center on campus has a whole host of different opportunities for students to pursue. Something that's really particularly valuable is the Career Lab. Lab stands for Life After Brown, and really is the hub for all these resources that are at your fingertips, including a network called Brown Connect, which connects undergraduate students with internships or full-time jobs that are listed specifically for Brown students by Brown alumni. Now, it's really important to talk about financing. Brown is both need blind and need based. So Brown is part of the Ivy League cohort of colleges, and something that unites those colleges is that we really are not permitted to provide merit-based scholarships, but it means that we can be extremely generous with our need-based scholarships. So Brown meets 100% of demonstrated need, as well as has eliminated loans as part of our financial aid packages. So that's really important information to know. And I'll end here. We highly encourage you to visit our website, which is listed here at the bottom. There are a bunch of different ways to learn about Brown, connect with current students in virtual chats. We have live Q&As. We also have office hours. So feel free to find me on the website and email me, and I'll make sure that we find ways to connect and answer your questions. Thanks.
Thank you, Emily. And now we will turn it over to Providence College.
Awesome. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jennifer Robinson. I am an Assistant Dean of Admissions at Providence. And just give me a second to share my screen. Sorry, I'm not sure why my PowerPoint is not showing up. I do this all day. It should work easily. Just give me 1 minute. Do you mind, can somebody else go right now? Is that possible? And then come back to me. I'm not sure why it's not working. Sorry.
Roger Williams, would you be able to go?
Do you mind? I'm sorry.
No, not at all. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Joe Vario here from Roger Williams University. Let's see. Let me get us started here. All right. So yeah, we are a medium-sized institution of about 4,000 undergrads. We're coastally situated in a town called Bristol, Rhode Island, about halfway between Providence and Newport, roughly a half hour from each by car or public transportation. We've got about 50 different majors and nearly twice that many minors, and a campus that really provides a tremendous amount of support and infrastructure to provide students with hands-on experiential learning opportunities, really without leaving campus. We're home to the largest shellfish hatchery in the state of Rhode Island, a 12,000 square foot wet lab to support the marine and natural sciences programs. We've got a tremendous architecture program that includes a Master of Architecture. We're really well known for that. Recently renovated Bloomberg Equipped Trading Center and the Gabelli School of Business. Expanded laboratory space for our School of Engineering, Computing, and Construction Management that was just completed last semester, the beginning of the spring semester. That includes a live job site, a hard hat and steel toe area indoors with a 2.5-story overhead crane inside. So really unique opportunities for engaged learning without leaving campus, but a small academic environment in which our average class size is about 18 to 20. We don't have a big university lecture hall format. Frankly, we don't have a space on campus with room for more than about 50 undergraduate students. So you really have the opportunity to make those meaningful connections with faculty members in ways that are ultimately very conducive, not only to your learning outcomes, but to experiential learning opportunities in the way of internship, research, and service learning, which I'll get to here in just a moment. I did mention about 50 different majors. We have a very interdisciplinary approach to academics. So if you're a student who knows what you want to study coming in, you'll be encouraged to take courses in that major starting in your first semester. So you can really be immersed in the discipline that you're excited to study throughout all 4 years. But about a third of our students aren't quite sure what they want to study when they enter. So they enter undeclared. Our core curriculum is something that all students complete, and it's not a foundational core, meaning it's not something that you need to complete by the end of freshman year or by the end of sophomore year. So if you're not sure what you want to study, that will give you some perspectives in various different disciplines so that when you do declare a major, it's with confidence that it's something you enjoy and something you can do well. More than 80% of our graduates graduate with multiple courses of study, at least a minor, perhaps multiple minors, many with double majors, and several are able to take advantage of our dual degree programs to condense an undergraduate bachelor's degree with a master's level program in a condensed time frame. A 4+1 MBA, 4+2 with a Master of Architecture, 4+1s in criminal justice, some niche programs in cybersecurity, as well as forensic science, forensic psychology, and clinical psychology as well. I mentioned experiential learning a moment ago. We really do strive to provide opportunities for that throughout all 4 years for students. And early on in a student's time at Roger, that starts under the umbrella of service learning. So standard service like beach cleanups and work and renovation of public use buildings and things like that. But through our Community Partnership Center, we have more than 24 faculty members per year who, as the name implies, partner with nonprofit organizations, CBOs, state and local government offices, and really work to launch initiatives or problem solve for these different groups in ways that provide meaningful experience for our students and allow them to really apply what they're learning in the classroom in a real world setting very early in their time at Roger. So like I said, more than 24 projects through the CPC each year. Frequently, it's with students who are freshmen and sophomores. So really gaining real world experience and reinforcing for themselves that they actually enjoy what they're studying when applied in a real world setting. Study abroad is very popular as well. Typically, full semester study abroad happens in junior year. We've sent students to more than 40 countries across 6 continents. It can be major related. Great programs for marine biology and aquaculture and aquarium science in Bermuda, the Dominican Republic, an awesome residency program in the heart of London for dance, theater, and performing arts majors. They're there for 3 months and attend 40 live performances while they're there to really take advantage of where they are in the world as it relates to what they're studying. But given the flexibility in our academic structure, we can really send a student almost anywhere in the world to study really whatever it is that's of interest to them, even if it's not specifically related to their major. And then in the areas of internships and publication of research, the distinction here tends to be the nature of what a student is studying. So our more professional fields like the School of Business, the School of Engineering, our architecture program, programs in the justice studies like forensic science and cybersecurity, even education majors completing teaching rotations. Typically that manifests as internship, and some of the aforementioned majors require one or multiple internships as a graduation requirement. Where in the more academic disciplines like the social and natural sciences, typically there students are working either independently or alongside faculty, frequently publishing in peer-reviewed scholarly journals before even the start of their senior year. So it makes them incredibly marketable when it comes time for career placement, but also as candidates to advance their studies in master's or doctoral programs as well. I'll touch here just quickly about some admissions considerations. We do observe 2 application deadlines, a non-binding early action deadline of November 15th and a regular decision deadline of February 1st. Our middle 50% of students fall between about a 3.0 and a 3.7 high school grade point average, or probably somewhere between about an 85 and a 92 if you're on a 100-point scale. Though we do place a tremendous amount of value in the rigor of a student's curriculum, as well as committed involvement. Students who've been involved in particular activities throughout the entirety of high school and perhaps even longer than that. So a diversity of involvement is valuable, but that commitment translates really well to student success as well. And finally, we are test optional, certainly realizing much of the changes and the inconvenience and stress related to canceled and rescheduled test dates and stuff. Our test optional policy is not new for us. We've been test optional for more than 10 years. Pretty simply, a student is at no disadvantage should they elect to not have their scores considered. You may still be admissible to any of our majors. There's nothing you need to submit in lieu of test scores. And even absent SAT or ACT, you may still qualify for a scholarship, a maximum presidential scholarship range based on your academic achievement, your involvement, and again, if you choose to submit standardized test scores.
Sorry, Joe, I'm gonna have to cut you off so we can move to the next one. Providence, I'm gonna move you to the very end. So next up we have Salve Regina.
Thank you very much. So my name is Nick Albanese, and I'm an Assistant Director of Admissions with Salve Regina University. Thank you so much for joining tonight. At Salve, we say that you will learn, lead, and make a difference. So in terms of making a difference, we are founded by the Catholic Sisters of Mercy. And the nuns wrote our mission statement years ago. And I love the very first line, which is, as a community that welcomes people of all beliefs. So I think that really says a lot about us in just a few words. We could have started with the word Salve Regina or with the words as a Catholic institution, but I think we wanted to make that bold statement that we are a welcoming and inclusive community, and that our students really learn how to think, not what to think. We have 5 critical concerns: earth, immigration, nonviolence, racism, and women. And we're always asking our students, you know, what can you do in the community around you to make an improvement? And so by the time our students graduate, they have that confidence that, yes, I can affect the world around me. We have just over 2,100 undergraduate students, and they're studying a little more than 50 academic majors. We have popular programs, really anything in business, science like chemistry, biology, biochemistry. We have some new 3-2 and 3-3 partnerships. Engineering, for example, it's with one of the top 30 engineering programs in the world. and students have that guaranteed acceptance if they have a 3.2 GPA in their junior year. We have some unique programs. We have a Bachelor of Arts in Dance, and we have an incredibly unique program called Cultural and Historic Preservation. Students in that program really learn how to apply history. They study the built environment. They learn how to advocate for, protect, restore, repair historic objects, buildings, and even neighborhoods. And it makes sense that Salve has such a comprehensive cultural and historic preservation program because our campus is located in one of the best kept historic districts in the United States. We're located in the Mansion District neighborhood of Newport, Rhode Island. And so you can see in this photo, you come over the bridge onto Aquidneck Island. So we're on an island in Rhode Island. And you come into the downtown, which is this left photo. It's this quintessential New England town with cobblestone streets and all these wharfs that go onto the water with restaurants and shops, museums on the ground level, and apartments for our upperclassmen on the second and third floors. And if you look at that tree line in the right photo, about a 15-minute walk up the hill is the Mansion District neighborhood. So Salve is a collection of 7 estates, mostly from the 1800s, mansions, barns, carriage houses, old potting sheds, and stables. And we've converted those buildings and turned them into the residence halls and the classrooms. And we've also added new buildings. We just spent $1 million renovating our academic center. We have state-of-the-art nursing facilities, mock hospital rooms, and other science facilities. And so what this does, it gives us a level 2 arboretum, a beautiful historic campus, but also an open campus. We are completely connected to our neighborhood and the town because our buildings are a part of the neighborhood. So students feel very comfortable getting off campus, being a part of the community, giving back tens of thousands of hours a year in community service to over 60 organizations on the island, renting apartments as upperclassmen, getting second jobs in the town, and really getting out of the bubble that college can sometimes become, you know, not just being involved with other students that are your same age. Our location, we're in Southern Rhode Island, so we're only an hour and a half from Boston Logan International Airport and about 25 minutes away from our local airport in Rhode Island. But there's so many things to do on campus. We have 19 Division III varsity sports. We're very well known for sailing. We have club sports like swimming, equestrian, rugby. We've been national champions a few times in club rugby. We have over 70 student-led organizations. So that's our multicultural student organization there at the top right. We have the Pell Center for International Relations and Public Policy. This was founded by an act of Congress in the early 1990s. And it's really a think tank on campus that brings together thought leaders, community stakeholders, and people that want to make an impact at local, regional, and international levels. But because of that, we bring in speakers from all over the world. There's always events going on campus. I just want to briefly share some of our academic averages. Most students have between a B+ and an A-, but we take the weighted GPA. We have students that are a little bit above a 3.9. They may be part of our direct entry nursing program or academic honors program. And then we also have students that are a little bit below a 3.2, and we have a really well-rounded amount of students. It's a very collaborative, not competitive academic environment. We're fully test optional. We've been test optional for nearly a decade, so we know how to do that well. We do a very holistic review of the application. We're on the Common Application, so it's very simple to apply. And then you can apply in the fall, in the winter, and the spring. We have early action 1, 2, and regular decision. They're not binding. And we also have early decision, which is binding. We're very comfortable as admission counselors having those candid conversations with our applicants. If you'd like to ask us questions about, should I apply early? Should I submit test scores or that sort of thing? We want you to be able to put your best foot forward. We offer over $40 million a year in financial aid. Merit scholarships are automatically considered. We give fee waivers to our students from Colorado, so please feel free to reach out about that. And we have a number of workshops coming up and virtual events, so I encourage you to check out salve.edu/visit. Thank you very much for listening to me today, and I believe next up we have URI.
Thank you so much, Nick. Yep, that is correct. We have URI next.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joanne Lynch from the University of Rhode Island. I'm really happy to be here. So let me share my screen and get some pictures up for you. Which Doesn't seem to, here we go. Sorry. I'm really happy to share with you some information about the University of Rhode Island, which is a land, sea, and urban grant research university. We're located in Southern Rhode Island, a rural area that's about 15 minutes from some very beautiful beaches, 90 minutes to Boston, 30 minutes to Providence, and 2.5 hours to New York City. And if my fellow friends here of Rhode Island had really thought about it, we probably should have made a map of Rhode Island that showed the location of each of our campuses on it. Our main campus in Kingston is a residential campus, and its main core is on the National Register of Historic Places. What you're looking at now is our quadrangle, which was designed by Frederick Law Olmsted. Our Narragansett Bay campus is home to our Graduate School of Oceanography, and you'll see one of our research vessels listed here. Some of our recognitions include being named a Peace Corps top volunteer producing college, a college with a conscience, 10 consecutive years as a Princeton Review Green College, and we're #3 best value school on the 30 most beautiful coastal college campuses list. We've invested over $900 million in capital improvements in the last 12 years. And if you take the virtual tour on our website, you'll see some of our newest buildings highlighted, such as our engineering complex, Center for Biotechnology and the Life Sciences, Chemical and Forensic Science Center, New Fitness and Wellness Center. Included with this is our Gender and Sexuality Center. We're the first college in the country to design and create a freestanding LGBTQ center. We offer over 80 majors and 90 minors, which are housed within our 8 academic colleges, including arts and sciences, business, health sciences, nursing, pharmacy, engineering, the environment and life sciences, and our College of Education and Professional Studies. Some of our more well-leading programs are our Graduate School of Oceanography, Direct Entry Pharmacy Doctoral Program, Marine Biology, and our environmental programs, and our International Engineering Program, the IEP. The IEP was created more than 20 years ago, and many other schools have modeled their programs after ours. Students pursue a 5-year program where they earn 2 degrees, one in their field of study of engineering and one in one of 5 languages. The 4th year, they study abroad. They do 1 semester of education in our partner university in the language of that country, and they do an internship as well, then come back for the 5th year and graduate with 2 degrees. We've expanded that to include international business, international pharmaceutical sciences, international textiles, fashion, merchandising, and design. And we also offer one of only 13 federally funded Chinese flagship programs. Some of our newer majors include music therapy, neuroscience, sustainable agriculture and food systems, data science, and sports media and communications. And just a few of our minors include leadership studies, nuclear engineering, nonviolence and peace studies, to name just a few. Our faculty are experts in their fields, and students who wish to participate in research are able to do that at the undergraduate level. Many of our students graduate with their bachelor's degree, having presented at national conferences, as well as being published in their field. Some of our faculty researchers include Bob Ballard, an oceanographer who discovered the remains of the Titanic on the ocean floor, as well as other underwater archaeological discoveries. Dr. Jimmy Oxley, a national expert on explosives. Dr. Tom Mather, who conducts research on tick-borne diseases. Dr. Arcolo in nursing, who's studying asthma on the Navajo Reservation. Mancadea in engineering, who's developed a wearable glove with sensors to monitor the symptoms of patients with Parkinson's disease. And all of this research is available to undergraduate students to participate in. Our campus size is about 14,600 undergraduate students and about 2,200 grad students. 47% of our students are from 48 states and 70 different countries, so it's a very diverse campus. Our first year class is about 3,250. We have a very active campus life with about 300 different clubs and organizations, everything from theater, music, chorus, dance, community service, Division I sports, you name it, you can get involved with it. About 94% of our students live on campus, and about 45% of our upper level students do as well. But many of them choose to live in rental houses near the beach, a quick 15-minute commute to campus. Living Learning Communities offer our on-campus students the option of living in a wing of a residence hall with other students in the same major, which is a great way to make new friends and develop study groups as well. We strongly believe in learning beyond the classroom and offer internships, service learning, student exchange, including study abroad and national student exchange, and clinical work to enhance your classroom learning. Our Center for Career and Experiential Education hosts about 350 employers each year who come to campus to interview and hire our students for internships as well as jobs after graduation. 90% of our recent graduates surveyed report being employed or in graduate school within 6 months after graduation. So the opportunity to combine your in-person, in-class learning with experiential opportunities provides an excellent springboard for your career. We are test optional for 2021 applications. Our early action deadline is December 1st, and it is non-binding. Our regular action deadline is February 1st, and I'll be happy to answer any further questions about URI either today or as a follow-up. I'll drop my email contact in the chat link for you, and thank you for your attention.
Awesome. Thanks, Joanne. Now we're going to go back to Providence. So Jennifer, take it away.
All right, let's give it a go again. Looks like it's going to work this time. So hi, everybody. Once again, I'm Jennifer. I represent Providence College. So Emily already did a great job of describing what a great little city Providence is in Rhode Island. Our campus is in more of a residential area of Providence, so we do have that self-contained kind of traditional college campus, and we're a 5 to 10 minute drive away from downtown Providence. So in my personal opinion, it's kind of the best of both worlds because our students will certainly get that city feel, but they also have that traditional campus feel as well. Here are some fast facts about Providence College. The one that I want to kind of focus on first is our size. We are right around 4,000 undergraduate students. We are primarily an undergraduate institution. So oftentimes you'll hear our students say that we're sort of this medium size, we're smaller to medium. This size allows us to really have small class sizes, so average of 20 students in a class. Professors really get to know you well. It's not going to be a place where students would just be a face in the crowd. But we also do have Division I athletics, so there's tons of a big school spirit and research opportunities as well that you might get at a larger university. So again, my personal opinion, I feel like our size has the best of both worlds as well. The next kind of fast fact that I want to focus on is the one right above it, and that is that we are the only college in the United States founded by the Dominican Friars. So we are a Catholic institution. The Dominican Friars are an order of priesthood, and their belief is really in educating the person as a whole. So having a well-rounded education, not just in the classroom, but also beyond socially and spiritually as well. As it pertains to the academics, having that well-rounded lifestyle, our students do take part in a liberal arts core curriculum. So we offer a School of Arts and Sciences, a School of Business, and a School of Professional Studies. But no matter what major a student chooses to major in, he or she is going to get their feet wet in a lot of different subject areas. You can see the different requirements that we have there on the screen. There are a lot of ways to fulfill those different courses. So you can see there we have 2 theology courses as a part of the core curriculum. And though we are a Catholic institution, those courses don't necessarily have to do with Catholicism. You could take a course about Judaism, or students can take a course about world religions to fulfill that requirement. There is one course at the top there, number 4, Development of Western Civilization. That's a course that every student on campus does take. It encompasses history, philosophy, theology, and literature, kind of starting at the beginning of time, going all the way up until modern ages, seeing how those different disciplines intertwine, and really looking at different events, different subject matters from all different viewpoints. What's sort of unique about that course is that it's team taught. So students would have 3 professors per semester teaching the course. One day students come in, they might hear from a history professor. the next day students come in, they might hear from an English professor. Aside from the learning that's happening in the classroom, engaged learning is also very important to us at Providence. So that might mean that students are having internships. 96% of our students report having had at least one internship by the time they graduate. That might mean taking part in research. It's just under 40% of our student body engages in some sort of research alongside a professor. Or it might mean that students are traveling abroad. I know it's a weird year to be thinking about traveling abroad, but in a normal year, it is around 55% of our students will take part in a study abroad program. All over the world, our students go to 40 different countries. Aside from the academics, there is so much more to life at Providence College. I think it would be near impossible to find a student who doesn't take part in at least one sort of extracurricular activity. I already mentioned that we have Division I athletics. If you're thinking you want to continue with athletics, maybe not at that D1 level, we do have club sports and intramural sports as well. There are over 120 student clubs and organizations. I know it's a bit hard to see on the screen there, and I certainly won't start listing all of them, but our students are really involved with clubs and organizations, and I would say especially community service. And life after PC, it's 96% of our students report being employed or in grad school within 6 months. And another question we ask our students is it the job that you were hoping for? Is it the job that you desired? Is it that field? And 93% of them say yes, it is. As far as the admissions process goes, we use the Common App. We have a holistic review process. We also have been test optional for over 15 years. So truly test optional, don't have to do anything in place of not having submit those test scores. And we also have an optional supplement essay as a part of our application process. I definitely recommend taking the time to do that if you want to put your best foot forward in the process. We offer need-based financial aid as well as merit-based scholarships. You can see the different stats there. For need-based financial aid, we require the FAFSA and the CSS profile. There's no separate application for our merit-based scholarships. So that wraps it up for me at Providence. I hope you will take advantage of other visit opportunities that we have, and feel free to be in touch if you have future questions.
Okay, thank you students for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a very quick 4-question survey, and we appreciate any feedback you can provide. Make sure to sign up for more sessions tonight and in the future. And in about a week, this session recording will be available on the StrivesCam website. So thanks for everyone for coming.